Greetings, Star Travelers, this is Man and Ushanka. Have you ever heard of Durge, one of the most prominent bounty hunters and soldiers of fortune, who got the reputation of being practically impossible to kill? This crazy renegade was famous for his skills of hunting a difficult prey, including Jedi. He was born more than 2,000 years before the events of the 4th episode. This fact means he was even older than Darth Bane himself. Durge's race bore the name of Guney. In ancient times, members of the noted species were quite tranquil, yet everything changed about 5,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, when their peaceful planet was attacked by bloodthirsty warriors of the Sith Empire, who, fighting in greater numbers, were close to completely eradicating the aboriginals of Durge's race, subsequently exiling them from their own home planet. As a result of this, survivors of the Guney became nomads, who have no home of themselves, forced to roam around the galaxy, seeking shelter and sustenance to survive the following millennia. Thanks to their outstanding height and their daunting physique, as well as to their regeneration abilities, many Guney got the reputation of desperate cutthroats, some of whom started to serve huts, as well as to create their own criminal organizations. Other important means of earning included fighting for hire and bounty hunting, so it wasn't surprising when Durge started a career of an assassin. When Durge was about 500 years old, he has become an apprentice to a well-known Mandalorian warrior named Jang, a training master who led his follower into the nuances of Mandalorian culture. Once upon a time, Durge, willing to protect his reputation, installed quite a few cybernetic implants into his body, literally covering his skin with an exoskeleton. For some time, his ability to regenerate was a problem that made his costume bring a lot of pain to the user, but later his body adapted to the noted conditions, making the costume become Durge's second skin. When his mentor died, this mercenary had already shown himself in a battle, and later, closer to the period of the new Sith Wars, of that very conflict in which Darth Bane established his famous Rule of Two, Durge had already gained enough reputation to be called a Jedi killer. Because of his regeneration abilities, he had no fear of being stricken by a lightsaber or being burned by Force lightning. His wounds regenerated in mere seconds, right on the battlefield. Even a severed arm or a leg could be regrown in a minute, thanks to his elastic muscles that were abundant in his organism and could be easily moved around his body. However, even considering his muscle regenerating abilities, we can't say that his brains were also regenerating. In fact, they were doing the opposite. After many hundreds of years of becoming older and older, Durge's mind was in a state of degradation, quickly losing his cunningness and mental ability. No wonder when he was caught by Mandalorians, he was crazy by their standards. When he was in captivity, Durge has established an image of Mandalorians, whom he then started considering his worst enemies. Later, when Count Dooku hired Durge, the Guney bounty hunter was more than happy to kill clones, since he thought of them as of Jango Fett's close relatives. And he hated that chap a lot. Having the ability of surviving grenade explosions, blaster shots, fire-thrower burns, and even temporarily maiming his body parts, Durge proved to be an unbeaten warrior. During the Clone Wars, Durge's battle mastery was of course improving even further, making this mercenary one of the most dangerous warriors of his era. He often used intricate ways of slaying his enemies. For example, he could use his elastic muscles to make a tough and sharp spring that could easily pierce enemies even through armor. But even his famous regeneration couldn't save him from the heat of the surface of a star. During the last years of the Clone Wars, Durge was eventually killed by Anakin Skywalker, who locked the bounty hunter up in a pod that was thrown into the burning center of Maramir star system, where he burned alive. And here ends the story of Durge, one of the most dangerous bounty hunters in the galaxy. And what do you think about this outstanding mercenary? Write your thoughts in the comment section below. I really want to know your opinion. And do not forget to leave a like so we can continue making videos about this awesome universe of Star Wars. Thanks for watching, and as the ancients said, let the Force go with you. Always.